Welcome to Phillip Island then for the final round, round 16 of the 500cc World Championship, and it's the Australian Grand Prix. Just a couple of hours south of Melbourne, coming up towards 3 o'clock local time. Bit nippy out there, 15 degrees Celsius, 17 degrees on ground, but we are told it should be dry for the race. Just under 4.5 kilometres along this circuit, but it's built for motorcycle racing. A fantastic place to watch the Grand Prix bikes take to the track. And starting from pole position for the Australian Grand Prix will be the Briton, Jamie McWilliams. A brilliant pole position from him in the time of 1 minute 32.552.
Yeah, Jerry McWilliams currently sitting 14th only in the championship, but 15th, sorry. But he's actually got 2 podiums so far, just those DNFs that have really hurt his championship challenge this season. But he's on pole for this final round of 132.552. A great ride for the golden-haired Irishman. He's been sporting that look for a while, but it's obviously making him go fast on that blue brilliant, the V-twin.
Thank God he doesn't have blue hair, that's all I can say. 27 laps of the circuit. This is your front row. Jamie McWilliams, Alex Barros, Regis Laconi and Kenny Roberts, of course, our new world champion.
Row 2 is Caparossi from Gary McCoy, the second Red Bulls, ahead of Checker and Valentino Rossi.
Alex Crivier, Tadej Carlo, Norik Arbe and Max Biaggi starts from 12th.
Nowatsuki, the second Suzuki, ahead of Jibbenau, Ko and Willis in 16th position.
We get the rear, then it's Jürgen Gerber, Konishi, Harada and Thomas, who rounds us out in 20th spot. 20 bikes out there today.
They all go down in turn 1 on their warm-up lap.
Always generally guaranteed to get good, close racing here. It's a very fast circuit, isn't it?
It is nose to tail all the way on this track. You can keep a lot of corner speed. Only a couple of points where you can have hard braking. They'll be coming up to one of them very soon. Great circuit for Grand Prix racing. Great shot that as well. You see them coming through. But as they come up to the grid,
it was the last time Alex Crivier will wear the number 1 on his bike.
Been a disappointing title of the year, defence year for him.
And here comes Alex Barros, moving his way up into second position. There's the world champion there with a gold trim to his leathers. But pole position belongs to this man, Jerry Williams. The flags are taken away. The lights go on. The Australian Grand Prix is underway, and it's a good start from Regis Laconi from 3rd on the grid, also from Roberts Jr.
Yeah, Roberts Jr. had a couple of wheelies and his bike was bucking under him, but he's managed to get away just about, but he's being swallowed up by Carlos Checa and Norfi Mayabe as well as around there. But then
great start from Biaggi as well, who came from 12th and all the way up into about 6th position at the moment.
And McWilliams has gone backwards. He's nowhere.
He's had a shocking start, hasn't he? But again, it's the power of that Aprilia. It should be all right once he gets into the race, but the start just doesn't quite have the power to match them into the first corner. Now, Regis Laconi leads from Carlos Checa in second place. There's Loris Capirossi, Norik Arbe, and look at McWilliams, really dropped back down the
15th position at the moment or so from McWilliams. It's Capirossi in 3rd place at the moment. Arbe just goes up the inside of Kenny Roberts. Biaggi is just behind him. Rossi down in 9th position, ahead of Kada Aoki and Jibbenau.
And Carlos Checa now takes over at the front from Regis Laconi. So the Marlboro Yamaha rider hits the front as they go over Siberia. So cool, because it is quite nippy and windy over there on occasion. It's not been a perfect weekend and not been ideal conditions so far this morning, but it's okay, it's dry for this race, and it looks like we're going to have a good one with Carlos Checa on board. He's leading the way ahead of Laconi, 2 Yamahas in front, and Norik Arbe trying to make it 3, thinking about going up on the inside of Loris Capirossi.
Checa's down!
That's Checa, yes, down at MG corner. Carlos Checa crashes out the lead on the first lap of the race. Down but not out, bit of grass tucked in the fairing. But Regis Laconi now goes back into the lead, and Checa has to go to the back of the pile.
He will not be believing he's done that, but back at the front, Capirossi wiggling all over the place and will get the run out of the final corner. Capirossi is leading as we go down, but they fan out 6 abreast going into turn 1. McCoy on the inside. It's Capirossi ahead of Laconi.
Norik Arbe had the edge at the front of that straight, didn't he? But by the end, he was swallowed up. Max Biaggi's dropped a couple of places down the order. This is the crash at MG corner for Carlos Checa. Loses the front end, a classic MG crash.
Yeah, just as he switched to get on the gas from hard on the brakes, lost all traction. The front end went away from him, but that bike's not too badly damaged. It's crew look on, and he will be back in the race. Capirossi is still leading from Regis Laconi. No, he's not. Laconi is through. Laconi, just the camera angle deceiving me slightly there. Laconi takes the lead back from Capirossi. Arbe in third, Barros in fourth. Rossi has now made it up into fifth position, unless Gary McCoy just nerfs him wide going into this corner.
He was pushing him, wasn't he? McCoy on the second Red Bull Yamaha was trying to go through on Rossi. The other Red Bull Yamaha is leading the way.
McCoy was through. McCoy did stay ahead of Rossi, so McCoy up into fifth position, number 24. Kenny Roberts just behind number 46 of Valentino Rossi.
It's been a breathtaking start, hasn't it, to the Australian Grand Prix. Laconi leading the way down into MG. Here comes Barros, and he goes through. And Rossi also. Rossi was trying to take two there and really pushed McCoy wide. Well, McCoy's looking for a really good showing here in front of his home fans, but unfortunately was just pushed wide there by Valentino Rossi, who took that position from him.
McCoy won 3 races this year and really shown a new way to ride these 500s. And he's still doing it here, but look at the pace of his teammate. He doesn't quite have it. Here comes Arbe right at the inside, 4 abreast down into turn 1. Laconi manages to hold on, and in fact the order doesn't change at all, but they all fanned out and we're all alongside just for a little bit. Roberts now is just trying to hold off McCoy, and the same way Laconi is trying to hold off Capirossi, who's now coming under pressure from his teammate number 10, Alex Barros. The two Emerson Honda Pons machines in second and third position.
They come out of the southern loop through the fast left-hander, and they'll get hard on the brakes for the Honda corner. Alex Barros, he's thinking about going up on the inside of his teammate, and he does so. Barros up into second then. He's just set the fastest lap of the race so far. Well, he's the fastest man out on track at the moment because he's up into second position. And Gary McCoy has dropped right back. It looked as though Kenny Roberts Jr. was up into 7th position or 6th position.
Biaggi possibly as well.
McCoy wasn't there. So I wonder what's happened to Gary McCoy, the Australian. As we say, looking for a good showing in front of his home fans.
There's Rossi, Roberts, Biaggi and McCoy just behind them, just ahead of AOP.
Must have been a moment for him. So, Laconi, his teammate, still leading, under increasing pressure though from Alex Barros, who is certainly flying around this track at the moment. Barros thinks about going up the inside. Rossi thought about going through on Arbe, but Arbe closed the door on the Italian. Of course, Valentino Rossi in second position in the championship. Been a fabulous debut season for the Italian. Surely will be one to watch next year.
Laconi's rear tyre is already moving about. That bike does not look happy with him. Watch as he drives out of here. It's just pumping a lot, really wiggling and slapping all over the place, and that's mean that Barros has got a better run. Let's see if Barros can come out of the slipstream and do something. Capirossi tucks under the fairing and is going to come out at the inside of Alex Barros. Capirossi takes 1, not 2, but just 1 to get into second place.
Through the corner they go, and Rossi is through, up into 4th position, past Norifumi Arbe. So, through the southern loop one more time. Lots of different lines that can take through this long left-hander. Turn 2 on the circuit. Jamie McWilliams, they can see, down in 13th position after starting from pole. Alex Crivier coming under pressure as well. Further down the order though. Long way down. Here comes Loris Capirossi at Honda corner, and the Honda takes over at the front. Barros also thinks about going through on the Red Bull Yamaha. Can he quite manage it? No. Laconi has the inside line and hangs on, but there's a huge group of riders all in with a shout in this one. Max Biaggi has gone through as well, hasn't he? Up past Kenny Roberts Jr. And also McCoy's gone through. So the world champion is dropping back down the order.
Yes, he led this race for a long time last year. First 10 laps, he absolutely destroyed the pack, going a second faster than anybody else, and then destroyed his tyres. And maybe he's mindful of that this year to not do the same mistake again. Kenny Roberts just not showing so much pace. Maybe he's got the championship in the bag. Will be wearing the #1 plate next season. Maybe he's just wanting to finish the season healthy.
Through the final corner on the circuit, this long left-hander, which someone like Gary McCoy can slide his way through, but it will take its toll on his tyres. Valentino Rossi's just set the fastest lap the last time around.
And we'll be going faster than Arbe now.
Still a long way to go, but yeah. I had a think, didn't he, Laconi back down on the inside of Loris Capirossi, but no way through for the time being. So the 2 Emerson Honda Pons sandwiching that Red Bull Yamaha of Regis Laconi. Fans would be definitely hoping that it was the number 24 of Gary McCoy, but not for the time being. There he is at the back of that group, just in behind Max Biaggi. Then comes Kenny Roberts Jr., our new world champion.
slowest point on the track, well, second slowest point on the track there. Honda corner down into Siberia once more. Things have calmed down a little bit now.
Great view from the inside there. The fans have got the other side. They're actually by the sea. You can see the Bath Strait in the background. But from there on in, it's Antarctica, really, isn't it? You just go straight down that way and you get to Antarctica. So you do get a chill wind blowing off there. And we've seen some of that this week, and we've got some at the moment as well. It's not too warm out there, 15 degrees Celsius, so not ideal conditions.
Wind and seagulls, your two biggest problems at Phillip Island.
As well,
seagulls, if you hit one, wind can pick the bike up and throw it around, especially down at the fast cornerable circuit, down at turn 2, and down at Siberia. On to the straight, we're going to be going after this corner. We're riding briefly on board with Capirossi, and we watch them see if McCoy can get a run. Or is he happy to sit in second place? I don't think so here as they all fan out.
One of the fastest points on the Grand Prix calendar. It's a downhill straight, has a little crest in it. Here comes Norikabe on the inside once more, but on the brakes, doesn't quite have what Alex Barros has on that Honda. Barros now tries to go up on the inside of Laconi into the southern loop. Can Barros put the bike in there? And he does. Barros through into second position. Just different lines, wasn't it, going into southern loop, and Barros able to carry just that extra amount of corner speed and take the line from Regis Laconi.
Yeah, he didn't push so hard. Fastest lap, Jeremy McWilliams, the pole sitter, 133.916, but he's in 12th position.
Just shocking start.
Still not that far back in terms of actual distance because the field stays bunched up here, but he's going to have to get a lot past a lot of faster straight line bikes if he wants to get up. And that's the problem with that Aprilia.
Yeah, we've talked about it with the Aprilia. It's obviously down on power on the other machines, but oh, and here comes Cody just having a think, wasn't he? Just through the hay shed there, about going through on Barros. But the Aprilia, a circuit like this, where it's a real rider circuit, where you have to throw the bike back, it has to flow very nicely. The lighter Aprilia just seems to have the edge in terms of all-out lap time speed, as he showed by going on pole position. Yeah. The 250s go just as fast, almost, not quite, as these 500s around him.
Just at the back of this pack, the Australian fans will be cheering a little bit because Gary McCoy has got past Max Biaggi. He's chasing down on the group where his teammate is sitting in third place at the moment. Looking back from Capirossi at Barros, look for the blue and white. Crivier's down. That is the worst way you could possibly finish your championship defence. Alex Crivier down and out on the Repsol Honda. All the Repsol Hondas struggling. Okada is the best of those at the moment in about 9th or 10th position. Laconi's through. Laconi is up into second. He does to Capirossi what Barros did to him just one lap before.
It's not been a great year, has it, all in all, for the Repsol Honda team.
And we missed, whilst we were watching Crivier, we missed that Barros had taken the lead into that corner. So Capirossi went from first to third in 2 corners. So Barros is now the man in the lead. And Capirossi takes second position back.
So we've got the 2 Honda Pons riders leading, but this time it's the other way round. The Brazilian Alex Barros leads the way as they head down towards Siberia. On board now with Loris Capirossi, looking at the rear of his teammates, the Brazilian Alex Barros.
Seeing black lines as they come out of there.
It's a fantastic circuit to watch at. It must be a brilliant circuit to race at as well. Through the fast hay shed, just fast for much of the track, just at MG corner really, and the Honda corner is where they really have to slam on the brakes. But the rest of it, it's got to flow together, it's got to all link in nicely. Here comes Regis Laconi trying to get the second position back, and he does so successfully from Loris Capirossi. So Laconi, the Frenchman, back into second. Gary McCoy is looking sharp at the moment. In behind, oh, it'd be great to see him through this final corner because he really lights up the rear.
So close to Rossi.
Of that Red Bull Yamaha.
Yeah, Arbe has lost out to McCoy. McCoy is really on the back of him. He's so small and light, he gets a lot of speed on that bike. We're watching him now. Gary McCoy is going to cut the inside of Valentino Rossi. How many people can he pass? Laconi loses out to Capirossi and to Rossi, and in the end, McCoy doesn't get any more. So Rossi now up to third position. 3 Hondas in the top 3. 2 Red Bull Yamahas in the shape of a twitching Regis Laconi in 4th, and 5th in the shape of Gary McCoy. Behind them, it's Arbe.
It's certainly not one to take your eyes off for a second, is it, in this race? Things going on all the time. The 2 Red Bull Yamahas getting very close to each other as they go down towards Honda corner. Really concertinas up and tightens up in that corner. On board now with Valentino Rossi, looking at the 2 Honda Pons machines. The first one of those in front of us is Loris Capirossi, and then it's Barros who's leading the race ahead of him. Packed house here as well at Phillip Island. Great to see. We do love the motorcycling here in Australia, of course. with the legends like Mick Doohan and Wayne Gardner, who've passed through 500cc racing. It's no surprise. It's a huge sport on the panorama here. Nice drive as well for everyone coming down from Melbourne.
Biaggi going past Arbe at the top of our screens. Biaggi starting to make a move now. He's been very quiet for this race. And he is through on Arbe, and Okada has got through on Kenny Roberts Jr. as well.
It's all bunched up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Aoki was also in there, just in behind Kenny Roberts Jr.
We've got a group of 5, then a tiny gap, and then a group of 6. So 11 riders within about 3 or 4 seconds of each other at the moment, which is just classic Phillip Island, as Gary McCoy tries to go round the outside of his teammate on the straight. Surely not going to be able to do it.
Not easy to do that here, is it? Going into the Doohan corner, turn 1 on the circuit. Downhill, fast right-hander. Oh, and saying that, here comes Laconi through at the second part into Southern Loop. And into 3rd position, past Valentino Rossi. Yeah, lots of different lines to be taken through those first couple of corners. And look at that, round the outside, Loris Capirossi. And just going through the fast turn 3, and in he goes into the lead.
Barros coming back at him, and he will take it back.
Oh, Barros reclaims the lead from Loris Capirossi. What a manoeuvre that was from the Italian. Oh, Valentino Rossi's going to lose out to McCoy, and he does, going into Siberia now.
McCoy nearly got taken by Biaggi going into Honda, but he got better drive out after having a slow entry and has made it past Valentino Rossi's now. So the 2 Red Bull Yamahas making their way past the Nastro Azzurro Honda of Valentino Rossi, starting to make a move now. So we've got 2 privateer teams up at the front, and all 4 of their riders up there ahead of the Works bike of the Works Yamahas of Valentino Rossi and Max Biaggi.
Works Honda of Rossi in the team of his own, of course, and Yamaha of Max Biaggi. But it's all bunched up, and it's anyone's for the taking, really, isn't it, at the moment? So many riders have been brought into it as well. I think you can say all the way down to 12th position at the moment. Just have a look at how they fan out there. They come through turn 13, the final corner on the circuit, and down the Gardner Straight one more time, tucked underneath the bubble there, Loris Capirossi. Here comes Gary McCoy, trying to go through on his teammate, Regis Laconi, on the brakes. Laconi's just going to have the edge. Rossi gets tight as well to the back of McCoy. And again, just look at the different lines going through the Southern Loop, different paces as well going through the corner. 18 laps remaining. And it's blink and you miss it stuff.
Yeah, long way to go in this race just yet. About 1 minute 32 for a race lap here on a 500cc motorbike. You can see all the way back to 12th in the shape. I think it's Gibernau right at the back of that group. At the moment, here comes Laconi around the outside of Barros. It is now, because Capirossi has got the lead, and it's all fighting for. Oh, McCoy's out of the seat. McCoy well out of the seat, feet off, thrown in the air, and he managed to only lose 1 place. How did he stay on that machine?
What a save that was from Gary McCoy. Up and in the air, flying all sorts. Managed to get his feet back on the foot pegs and back in the saddle, and he's tucked right in behind Valentino Rossi once more.
That must have given him a bit of a scare, though, for sure. Gary McCoy, it was accelerating hard out of the Honda hairpin. It just got all over the place. Hopefully you see a replay of that, but here we go. You can see it's all bunched up. McCoy is in the middle there, Laconi's on the outside, and McCoy just bounces twice and then picks him up, the smoke puffing off the rear tyre as he just completely loses it. Just a bit too much throttle. And
grabs a handful of throttle to get himself back in behind Rossi. Brave stuff from Gary McCoy, but he holds on.
So Capirossi is leading now after that quick reshuffle. Barros tucks in behind him. Laconi, then Rossi, then McCoy, then Biaggi. And Barros takes the lead just from Capirossi. Capirossi has the run on the outside, and he will stuff it back up the inside. Surely, no, not Barros, just a bit tighter.
Just watching some of the riders further down in the back of this group. Joe McWilliams 1.8 seconds behind the leaders now, and he's really motored his way through.
He's passed both Suzukis
in 10th position he was, and he's looking very, very good.
Okada's just thrown it up the inside of Biaggi there, so Okada now is starting to make a move, and he is going to be joining into these front 5 very, very soon. The Japanese rider's starting to come good as we get towards halfway in this, and we watch once again McCoy. Look at it, bouncing both wheels off the ground, legs flapping around like seagull's wings.
Incredible stuff. And he's through, he's gone back through. Where he had the moment on the last lap, Gary McCoy says, right, I might have done that last lap, but this time he's gone through on Valentino Rossi and up into 4th position.
How he manages that, I will never know. Down into NG once more, and Laconi is through. Laconi up into second position. I'm impressed with the way Laconi's riding here. He's showing some really good form. He's been outshone by his teammate all the way through this year.
And now Alex Barros still leading, but Laconi, as you say, on the move up into second position, just behind Loris Capirossi, and then Gary McCoy in fourth position. So it's Honda Pons, Red Bull Yamaha, Honda Pons, Red Bull Yamaha, and just in behind the Nastro Azzurro Honda of Valentino Rossi. Then it's the Marlboro Yamaha of Max Biaggi, who's patiently been sat there, not been involved in any of the shenanigans so far, has he? Just been content to watch. He's got pressure, though, coming from behind from Tadej Okada.
Yeah, Okada was briefly past him, but Biaggi has got back in front of the Repsol Honda. One of only too many, because we've lost Alex Crivier, remember. The Suzukis are dropping back off the back of this pack now, and look, just at the back is Jeremy Williams. You can just see him at the top of your screen. He's sitting just behind Arbe at the moment, as we do not quite have a change of the lead. McCoy's up to third now. Barros still leading the way. So the Red Bull Yamaha second and third, and McCoy might get up to second position here. The line being defended by his teammate. McCoy trying to go round the outside at Siberia, but it's not going to happen.
Listen to the fans as well. They were liking watching that now. McCoy tucked in behind Laconi through the hay shed. He's going to have a daring move up towards Lukey Heights. I don't think so. And Laconi, ahead of McCoy over the top of Lukey Heights, and then they will get hard on the brakes for the MG corner.
Formation riding from the two Red Bull Yamahas.
Great shot that, isn't it, of those two riding through. Just watch McCoy's rear tyre through here in practice and qualifying. Smoking that rear tyre coming out of this final corner, but he don't want to do it too much because it really will wear them. He says it doesn't. He says it helps the tyre, keeps them cool, but
that's also
what the tyre companies say.
Yeah.
So.
Not so much, but both the Red Bull Yamahas round the outside and the inside, and it is going to be McCoy that takes the lead. So McCoy goes from third to first. His teammate stays in second position, but tries to go round the outside once more of him. So the two Red Bull Yamahas now pushing each other wide into turn one, and Laconi's going to lose out slightly. No, sorry, McCoy is losing out. It's hard to tell which one's which as they see them from the helicopter camera, and both of them briefly ahead of Barros, and McCoy will have another run at Barros surely as they come down towards Honda.
He was hung out to dry by his own teammate there, McCoy. He went round the outside at the southern loop.
Oh, Barros!
Barros now through on the corner. Well, no, it's Biaggi. Where's he come from now? In fourth position, and Biaggi's starting to make a move. This is brilliant stuff here in the Australian Grand Prix. On board now with Alex Barros, looking at the Frenchman, Régis Laconi, who led briefly once more, and now he's going to have another go up on the inside of the hay shed, the fastest point of the circuit, more or less. Well, one of the fastest corners, and through he goes.
That is confidence.
So Laconi takes over at the front once more. Alex Barros will try and outbrake him here at the MG corner, a downhill braking right-hander, but Laconi will cut right across in front of him, and Barros stays in second.
Barros would have done that, but he had a little bobble coming over the top of Lukey Heights, just lost a little bit of rear grip, which meant he couldn't get down the inside so easily. But for sure, if we head back round towards the front straight, he will have another go. McCoy still tucked up into third, and it should be Max Biaggi in fourth place. Then you can just see him there. He's ahead of Capirossi and Rossi. McCoy to the inside, got great drive out of there, and they fan out as they almost collide. Six abreast once more down turn one. Biaggi, here comes Capirossi. Barros in first, Capirossi in second. I think it's McCoy in third, but no, it's Régis Laconi in third. Biaggi is in fourth. Complete change of order there.
Well, that was chaos, wasn't it, coming down the straight there, like the 125s, but they're on big 500cc machines. It's incredible, incredible stuff. On board with Alex Barros and his teammate Capirossi. He tried to go around the outside once more, he is, but Barros holds firm in turn four. Here comes Laconi as they head down towards the Honda corner now. Hard on the brakes. Laconi's going to try and go through. Biaggi round the outside. Biaggi up into second position. He's going to hang it in there as well, and he's going to claim second position. Is he? No.
He went round the outside of one, but trying to go round the outside of two people in a hairpin.
Into Siberia one more time. On board with Barros, watching Loris Capirossi fighting off the challenge from the two Yamahas of Max Biaggi, and then Régis Laconi. In front of Gary McCoy now is Valentino Rossi. It really is chopping and changing at every single corner on this circuit. There's no love lost between any of them, and they all just have no respect. Biaggi, meanwhile, goes through and up into second position. So all that way back is Sete Gimeno just bringing up that front group, and any of them will consider they have chances to win this race.
We're going to cross the finish line one more time. Barros leading the way. Biaggi tucked in. Biaggi now making his move, going towards the inside. Capirossi as well having a look. Barris is moving, losing out massively. Drops back to third position. McCoy round the outside, but not quite as Biaggi who takes the lead. Bobble into turn 2.
Big moment going into turn 2. It's just upset the rear end of his bike, that, didn't it? And he just couldn't quite bring the bike around, and that means that he loses out on the lead one more time. Loris Capirossi then from Max Biaggi, then it's Alex Barros, Regis Laconi, Valentino Rossi as well. Down into Honda, look at them all fan out 4 abreast going in there one more time, and Biaggi thinks about going around the outside, doing that manoeuvre he tried a couple of laps ago. Oh, Laconi does go through Alex Barros and up into third. There's no point telling you the order of what's going on here because it's just going to change at the next corner.
Every corner we're getting a pass at the moment. This is the best race we've seen for a long time in the 500s as Laconi moves up into second place. Once more through at the hay shed. He loves that overtaking manoeuvre because nobody expects it, because you wouldn't go through there if you had any brain going on at all. He just unplugs it, goes round, and he's going to go and take the lead. Laconi up the inside, and we switch to the front camera. He runs it a little bit deeper. We'll be able to pull it back through. Just hold on, Regis Laconi.
Through this long left-hander. Turns 11 and 12, and Laconi
sliding the tyres.
Oh, you see the smoke as well being kicked off.
I think that was McCoy.
Yeah. And a bit of a bobble for Alex Barros coming out of the corner, up out of the seat, but they're going to fan out one more time. This race is going to go down to the wire. That's it much is a guarantee as Max Biaggi takes over at the front. Biaggi leads for the first time.
Okay, so now it's Biaggi, Capirossi, Laconi.
He led here.
Corners.
Yeah, and Biaggi led here for 3 corners on the last lap, but had a moment in the middle of the corner. This time manages to keep it solid going through the southern loop. 12 laps to go. I don't think we're going to have any voice or breath left by the end of this race.
If it's bad for us, imagine how it is for the riders out there. They must be absolutely loving this racing.
And now Capirossi's trying to go over the inside, but Biaggi cuts right across in front of him.
If you wanted to see what a Yamaha looks like close up, you just got a great view of it from our onboard camera. The rear wheel of Biaggi's motorcycle just inches away from the front of Capirossi's bike, hard on the gas. Flick it left and then right through the hay shed. Watch out if Laconi comes through on the inside, but he's not going to do it this time. Laconi in third, McCoy in fourth, Rossi in fifth, Arbe sixth, McWilliams up to 7th position now. He's got past Tadej Okada.
What we said, had a shocking start, but we expected that this is a circuit that will suit the Aprilia. And the Northern Irishman is really making progress now. Valentino Rossi also up into 4th position and past Gary McCoy. Oh, so McCoy claims it back. Rossi must have run it a little bit wide coming out of MG there. Max Biaggi's only had 1 victory so far this season. That was at the Brno circuit where he does go so well. He would be delighted if he was able to take victory in this one. Loris Capirossi and all those other chaps for company though, and they'll all be desperate for the 25 points here, and Capirossi does reclaim the lead now.
We've lost Alex Barros. He has dropped way back to about 10th position at the moment. Something may have happened off camera to the Brazilian. He's in 9th position. Only 2.1 seconds back, but from where he was just a couple of laps ago. Something's going on with Alex Barros, perhaps tyre issues already, but we wouldn't want to wish that on anybody riding on board with Capirossi. Looking back at the 2 Yamahas fighting, watch out for Laconi. He might go to the inside and is going to go to the inside and have a look at Max Biaggi. Will Biaggi defend? Surely he will try to cut across the front, and indeed he does. Biaggi just holds on. Capirossi ran a little bit wide, but we'll get good drive out of here to defend into Siberia. Biaggi holds on to 2nd place. Just. Not for long, probably.
Tight stuff though, isn't it?
These front 3 have got a little bit of a gap now. It's spread out slightly to Rossi in 4th position.
Fastest man on the circuit is Max Biaggi at 133.320. The record lap coming here last year was Kenny Roberts Jr. 132.743. So we would expect more from Roberts here, wouldn't we? It's just not quite clicked, has it, so far in this race? He's still in with a shout though, the world champion, because it's just so tight, isn't it, in this pack? He's only just over 2 seconds away from the leader.
But he's got to pass about 9 people to get there. And that is a big ask for anybody, especially when it's coming back like this. Capirossi, sorry, that's Rossi's pit board. don't really think you need a pit board at the moment in this.
You sort of know, don't you?
By the time they've shown it, it's already out of date. Laconi trying to go around the outside of Biaggi now. Not going to do it there in turn 2. But he will get good drive coming out of it. Just the back end wiggling around a little bit more. Caparossi's got a little bit of breathing room. Biaggi is really under pressure from Laconi. Laconi will surely have another go. Coming down into the Honda hairpin, he's just going to pop out to the inside, but he's too far back at the moment. Biaggi very, very strong on the brakes down into the Honda hairpin. We saw him have a go on the outside a couple of times and make it work. McCoy has now lost out to Joe McWilliams. McWilliams is up to 5th position.
Having a brilliant ride,
So
the Ulsterman.
Chance of a podium here from McWilliams if he keeps this pace up.
Definitely. For the 3rd time this season, that would be really impressive stuff.
It's such a fast track as well.
Capirossi now at the front from Max Biaggi. And then Laconi just in behind, and then Valentino Rossi. You've got to have an eye on the end of your name if you want to be in the front 4 at this race. Just settle down for a moment there. McCoy just in behind Jeremy McWilliams.
His front 4 definitely have a little bit of a gap now. Williams is going to have to work very, very hard to stay up with them. Loris Caparossi's board, lap 9, plus 0. I think that says it all. And it does say it all because Biaggi takes the lead.
Down the Gardner Straight one more time into Doohan corner. Max Biaggi reclaims the front position, but Loris Capirossi, though, is not going to let it stand for long. Into the southern loop, a wide line from Biaggi opens the door for the diminutive Italian.
Not that wide. There wasn't that much room there, but Capirossi took any gap.
That's what I said, diminutive. He only needs a small gap and through he goes.
Biaggi once more up the inside. He is so good on the... Oh! Laconi touches the back of Caparossi's bike and just manages to keep it upright, but runs straight off, and surely that's the end of Laconi's race. Dropped right to the back of this group, and it's all over for Regis Laconi. Just too late. What was going on there?
You have to say, Laconi's had a brilliant ride up to now, fighting at the front all the way in this race, and then just got clipped, got tagged, didn't he? Just going out of the Honda corner. And unfortunately, that's the end of his race. This was it.
Oh, just chattering in the way in.
He
knocks him.
Yeah, he couldn't get that bike to stop, could he? And he was forced to pick it up. Just hit the rear tyre of Loris Capirossi.
Considering what could have happened then, that was pretty much, he got away with lucky to stay up and not take anybody else down. But we still have a race going on here. There may be one rider short, but there's still plenty of people enjoying this race.
Yeah, 3 Italians. I bet the Italian fans are enjoying this one because we've got Biaggi leading, Capirossi 2nd and Rossi in 3rd.
Not for long. Surely not. Rossi up the inside.
It's almost the red, white and green of the Italian flag, isn't it? Just that sort of bright yellow-green, isn't it?
There's a bit of black and...
Yeah, for Valentino Rossi. It's almost like a tricolor out there, isn't it? That's my take on it anyway.
And if we can get the Ulsterman and Jeremy Williams in that front 3, it will change it completely, and he is closing.
He's there.
McCoy's still in behind him. Barros seems to have got his 2nd win, just flashing through the number 10. Machine still just there or thereabouts. We've got a Suzuki in there at the moment. Oh, and Biaggi runs it wide. Capirossi straight through. So Biaggi makes a mistake and Capirossi there to pounce. You just cannot make a mistake here, but that's the 2nd time we've seen Biaggi run wide. First at turn 2, then there at the Honda hairpin. Pushing in front of that Yamaha to the maximum.
Very fast through the hay shed, fast right-hander. And then they'll throw it right. They go up over a rise. This is Lukey Heights. Just hit the top of the crest and then just stay straighten the bike up. It's downhill, hard on the brakes for the MG corner. Very, very tight in there. Very easy to lose the front end, as Carlos Checa showed on that very first lap.
Great shots from the helicopter camera. Let's see how these guys compare. Down the straight, Rossi is tucked in very, very close. Got a great slipstream. Pulled out of it perhaps a little bit too early. And Biaggi has got the run now on Capirossi, but we will have a change for the lead. So Biaggi, number 4, retakes the lead from Loris Capirossi with 7 laps to go. Capirossi is once more going to throw it down the inside. Biaggi pushes him very, very close to the dirt. He defended there.
There wasn't even a Hobbit-sized hole this time, was there? No way through.
What are you saying about Capirossi?
Nothing at all, but Loris Capirossi, great rider. But he's one of the smallest guys out there, you have to say. But now, see, there was a smaller, not as, a bit bigger than Hobbit size, able for Capirossi to go through.
Munchkin-sized
now, round the outside, though, Biaggi reclaims that position.
No, he doesn't.
Capirossi fires it through, coming out on the hairpin, and Rossi's also going to try and take advantage. Rossi round the outside, pushed wide by Capirossi, and that means Biaggi can hang on to second position. All this is helping Jamie McWilliams, number 99, just in behind them to close on the back of this front 3.
Now we'll see what this Aprilia can do down the start-finish straight. We're back to a group of 6 at the front. Barros having a look at McWilliams now. So all of that battling at the front has really closed this group back up once more, and we've still got one Red Bull Yamaha in there. It's not the one we saw before as Barros goes up the inside of McWilliams.
Barros, who had dropped down to about 10th position, some kind of moment, is making his way back through again.
Kenny Roberts just in there in about 7th position.
Gradually as well getting there. I wonder if there's a chance for the American to show something in this race. Not quite sure he has the edge here, unfortunately.
I think not in any hurry is a term that you could apply to Kenny Roberts in this race.
Got the championship in the bag. Doesn't need to risk too much whatsoever. Wants to go off and enjoy the winter. And in the front.
Interesting though that Rossi really wasn't using the slipstream very much. He wasn't really pushing to get past. He seems quite happy to just stay behind and let these two fight it out amongst themselves.
Maybe saving something for later on in the race.
Yeah.
Loris Capirossi very strong, isn't he, through the southern loop and coming out of there and then into the fast turn 4, this fast left-hander. He just kissed the rumble strip slightly and then it's hard on the brakes. Where Biaggi looks strong in there, the Yamaha looks very, very stable going into there.
In fact, this whole section is good for Biaggi, who is about as close as you can get to racing motorcycles without touching. As you can see, the split 0.085 as they went across the start-finish line. Roberts is in 8th, Okada in 9th, 10th, Coney 11th.
So he has got
back on, but he's 10 seconds back in a lonely 11th position. Long way ahead of Jürgen van der Gilberg, 27 seconds back from the leader as we on board with Capirossi as Biaggi goes round into NG and takes the lead back from Capirossi. So it's these two fighting at the moment. Rossi holding a watching brief behind them. McWilliams still just in 4th position, unable to do something about them at the moment. Capirossi out of the seat.
Seems like we lost Carlos Checo, who had been lapping at the back, but he's out of this race now.
Barros is actually past Jeremy Williams, so Barros is back up to 4th position.
Incredible stuff from the Brazilian to be back in the fight now. Into the Doohan corner, 5 laps remaining. No change this time. Biaggi leads from Capirossi in second. Capirossi tries to go through that little hole one more time, and he does so. Biaggi's not shy about letting it open, though, is he? Not shy about...
Well, I mean, he closed it pretty well. I mean, there wasn't a lot of space there at all, but maybe he thought that Capirossi wouldn't go for that smaller gap. Biaggi runs it wide, almost onto the rumble strip and pushes Valentino Rossi out. Gets a bit of a twitch on the back wheel and heads down into the Honda hairpin once more. Barros now is much, much closer to these guys than he has been for a while, so we're back up to 4 at the front. Williams in just behind him. Biaggi surely will have a look going down into Siberia.
You see, it really compresses when they go into Honda corner, doesn't it? And even Okada, who's in 9th position, is not in with a shout of victory, I would say. It's a bit too much of an ask, but surely to move up through the order, as Barros has done over the last couple of laps.
You don't, if you want to make a pass, you've got to make sure it sticks, because you can lose 2 or 3 places if you get it wrong, but Biaggi isn't getting it wrong. Up towards NG, and he takes the lead back once more from Loris Capirossi. If we head down into the corner, Rossi might have a go, but not quite. They just sit nose to tail. The top 9 all so close together here at Phillip Island. Great racing. Okada there just at the back of that group now.
There's Jeff Crust, team manager for the Marlboro Yamaha team.
Seeing himself on TV.
Didn't quite get a focus on him as the camera was wobbling about in the gantry. Bit of a breeze out there, as usual, here at Phillip Island.
But it's still dry. That's important.
Thank goodness. Here comes Loris Capirossi up at the inside at Doohan corner, and this time goes through at turn 1. Now he will take the inside line. Going into turn 2, and no way through for Max Biaggi. 4 laps remaining. It's Capirossi from Biaggi. Rossi in 3rd, then it's Barros Get a slight gap back to Gary McCoy. The fans will be cheering him on. They'll want him to finish higher up. Jamie Williams loses the position to the Australian. And then it's Kenny Roberts Jr. just in behind the Ulsterman. Meanwhile, Max Biaggi takes over at the front. Alex Barros goes up into third.
Great double manoeuvre there from Barros and Biaggi. And Roberts is now past McWilliams as well, just slightly further back at the top of your picture. So Biaggi doesn't like being led in this race. He wants to stay at the front and keep everybody behind him. So it's the two Emerson Honda bikes back into second and third position. Rossi has been pushed back to fourth. Perhaps his reluctance to sit in the slipstream and actually make a move at the front will hurt him here, because now he's got one more bike to contend with. McCoy is not done with yet either, and Kenny Roberts is slowly starting to make his way forward. Sixth position,
gradually getting there, isn't he?
Looking positive. Said it. Cito Pons there watching the possibility of a double podium or maybe a win for one of his riders. It's about time. On to the start-finish straight once more. Once again, Rossi's bike just wiggling, but he doesn't seem to mind it. Rossi now. Barros takes a tear-off and that lets Valentino Rossi pass, and Capirossi takes the lead, so double change of position. Once again, it re-swaps back to how it was this time at the beginning of last lap, and Rossi has got a hurry-up call now, for sure.
Well, we've seen him really not make any kind of manoeuvre. We've seen almost, as you say, he was not trying to find the slipstream down that front straight. So maybe now he's thinking, now's my chance to be able to go through and snatch victory. 2 victories, of course, this season for Valentino Rossi. Several podiums as well. Rossi was on the inside there of Biaggi. Takes a very tight line this time. And he's forced to sit up slightly and give up position to Alex Barros. Meanwhile, Gary McCoy's come back into the hunt, and he's gone through on Valentino Rossi.
So Rossi tried to make a manoeuvre but got it all wrong, and that's what we said earlier. If you just don't get it quite right, you're going to lose positions, and Barros having a look into the hay shed. We're riding on board with Capirossi to see that, and McCoy now up into 4th place. This is great for Gary McCoy riding at home. He would dearly love to win here, a podium at the very least for the Australian rider. Would cap off what has been a great season for the number 24.
Roberts has dropped back a couple of positions now, back to 8th, and Arbe was just about to go through on Jamie McWilliams to take 6th spot from the Ulsterman. So I wonder if Roberts had a problem on that last lap, because he was starting to look like he was going to be involved in this battle for the victory.
Yeah, Arbe has got through on Jamie McWilliams, so maybe problems for the Suzuki rider. Decided he didn't like 6th, preferred 8th position. Biaggi wants 1st position though, and he does take it, and Barros goes through as well. Barros just flies past. Capirossi set up very early.
See, the set up early on, he missed that last 6 gears just going over the crest. 2 laps to go. And Capirossi straight back into the groove though, and through he goes on his teammate Alex Barros.
At the same place that he's done that to Biaggi so many times earlier on in this race. He really does love that corner.
Looks very good through there, doesn't he? Carries a lot of corner speed in his old 250 days. Another 250 champion, multi-world champion, of course, Max Biaggi leading, and it's Capirossi in second. Another 250 champion, Valentino Rossi, thinks about going through on Alex Barros, but Barros closes the door. As we say time and time again, you don't outbrake Alex Barros easily at all. You have to outfox Alex Barros, don't you?
Out-pressure him, possibly. Biaggi is withstanding all the pressure at the moment. Rossi in 2nd position, Barros in 3rd position, Rossi 4th. Graham McCoy still just about hanging in there. They were about sliding it over the top of NG. Is Gary McCoy, number 24. Doesn't look like he's quite got the pace of the front runners.
So they come into the final corner for the penultimate time. 1 lap remaining, and just a little bit, this remainder of this lap. So this is the crucial fire down the line this time. Biaggi leading from Loris Capirossi in 2nd position. Alex Barros is going to come under pressure from Valentino Rossi this time, and nowhere near the front 2. So they go into the last lap now, into Doohan Corner. Loris Capirossi is going to try one more time on the inside, but this time Biaggi finds something, closes the door, no way through for Capirossi.
Capirossi almost touched Biaggi too soon. He almost went too early for that gap.
Biaggi's also seen him do that on a couple of occasions and just had an extra spurt, but Capirossi tries once more at the fast turn 4, not managing it. Into Honda Corner they go. Loris Capirosi's now going to attack, and he does through on Max Biaggi, but Biaggi's got the stability of the Yamaha and comes out of the corner, has the drive coming out of the corner, does he? Yes, down towards Siberia, Biaggi hangs on.
Biaggi just about hanging on there, but Capirossi is not done with yet, and Rossi has still got something left in the tank. Will we see Capirossi have a go down through the H-head? He's definitely not close enough, but he will build as they head up towards NG, and he is going to dive to the inside here. There's no room for him. Biaggi runs it wide. There's just a couple of chances left as we head over the top of NG now. Capirossi moves to the inside, but Biaggi is very, very strong here.
This is MG corner then, the tight right-hander. There's no way through for Loris Capirossi or Valentino Rossi. Maybe he can snatch second. It seems there's no one going to be able to attack Max Biaggi. They really have to get tight to him. It'll be a run to the line. Oh, a moment for Loris Capirossi in the final corner, laying the bike on the left-hand side for a long, long way through into the final corner now. Who will win the Australian Grand Prix? It looks as though it will be Max Biaggi. Who will take second?
Capirossi will take second place, just ahead of Valentino Rossi, Alex Barros and Gary McCoy. The Yamaha team going absolutely crazy. Great victory for Max Biaggi. Great race, congratulated by Valentino Rossi. Two rivals unified in a great victory for the number 4 Italian, the Roman Emperor.
He really waited in that race, Max Biaggi. In the early part, he was content to sit in 5th or 6th position and watch the other riders ahead of him. But then towards the end, he exerted the pressure and takes his second victory of the season. In second position, it's Loris Capirossi, and an all-Italian podium with Valentino Rossi in 3rd place. What a day for the Italians. Alex Barros in 4th spot, the home rider Gary McCoy in 5th. Then a gap back to Norikabe, Kenny Roberts and Jeremy McWilliams.
So Rossi takes 3rd step on the podium. Well-deserved podium for Valentino Rossi.
The man who beat him for the Emerson Honda Pons team,
and
Loris
Capirossi being announced. With a big cheer as he joins up. He's pretty happy with 2nd place. Probably just still riding on the adrenaline high from that race. So many passes what we saw there.
4th podium of the season. Of course, he took victory in the home race at Italy. But this is a real day for Italy today with 3 riders on the podium. Rossi 3rd, Capirossi 2nd, and Max Biaggi takes the victory. His 2nd win of the season. Only his 4th podium as well, actually, Biaggi. Of course, he had a very disappointing start to the year. The second half of the season has been superb.
Made the machine, Nakayama-san from Yamaha.
All these riders will be hoping that next year that they can make an assault on the championship.
But firstly, ladies
try and
gentlemen,
rob Kenny Roberts of his crown.
We deal with 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the 500 Grand Prix. We have the Rookie of the Year, and the presentation for that will be made by the Chief Executive of our sponsor, Qantas, Mr. James Strong. And the Rookie of the Year is a great rider. It's hard to think and to realise that he's in only his 1st year of 500 Grand Prix racing. The Rookie of the Year, Valentino Rossi.
That pretty much says it all for you there from the
no need to commentate on that when we've got the announcer giving us all the information. A great year it has been for Valentino Rossi. You can hear the fans do love him.
To make the presentation to 3rd and 2nd place getters, a guy you know well and love and revere, Mick Doohan.
Mick Doohan getting a star billing, of course. Huge popularity with the fans here. There's his new protege, Valentino Rossi.
Valentino Rossi, 2 great motorcycle riders, and Mick.
There's a bigger cheer for Mick Doohan than there is for any of the guys on the podium, actually.
A little wave there.
Something like a legend here.
And Mick.
The crowd shouting, Doohan, Doohan,
But Mick has more work to do because he's to present the trophy to 2nd place, Loris Capirossi.
Loris Capirossi celebrates a great 2nd place. Been a great ride for him today. I just love watching him through the Southern Loop today. It was fabulous through there.
The government that makes it all
There's his
happen,
girlfriend Ingrid.
that runs the Grand Prix board, that brings you this fabulous place and this wonderful motor race, your Premier, Steve Bracks.
not quite the same reception
So popular.
for Mick Doohan there. For Steve Braxton, it was for Mick Doohan.
For first place to Max Biaggi.
I think Mick Doohan maybe explaining why there was a bit of a booing there, but Max Biaggi celebrates on the top step of the podium for the second time this season, and a thoroughly deserved victory today in a fabulous, fabulous Australian Grand Prix.
The Constructors' Trophy to Nakayama-san from Yamaha.
Yamaha take the prize for the Constructors. Great win for Yamaha here today. A few victories this season with McCoy as well, and Norikabe as well in Suzuka. We hear the Italian national anthem ring around the Phillip Island circuit. So Biaggi and all three Italians actually can enjoy the Italian national anthem. Great day for the country, great day for Max Biaggi. It's been a fabulous season from Valentino Rossi alongside him. He finishes second in the championship. Biaggi finishes third position in the championship. So a great result for him today. Now they get to enjoy the champagne as well on the top step of the podium.
Hope that's not an expensive suit.
He'll get the dry cleaners first thing in the morning, won't he? Big bottles of champagne. Lots being sprayed out there, but the day belongs to Biaggi. What a ride from him and all three Italians.